Hi there, thank you so much for clicking the thumbnail and being interested in my work. In this video I'll be showing you my techniques and tips on how I achieve hair in pastels. So be sure to watch it right through to the end, because here and there I'll be slowing it down to real-time footage so you can take a closer look. So let's dive in and take a look. First of all is a selection of basic primary colours, secondary colours and a few earth colours to start with. I tend to hold them in my left hand like this, just put them in a bunch, just grab hold of them, and then it's easy to actually pick them as you draw then, especially when you're standing up. Now the inset photograph you see here is at the correct angle, so that's the correct angle of the reference image as I see it. But as I'm drawing it on the easel, it's in perspective, so the proportions look different to the actual inset photo, so just bear with me on that. The reason I've put it there is because the colours on the monitor as you see it is too saturated and it's hard to change that, so I just needed a photo closer to what my drawing is. So the first thing to do is just to map out where everything, all the elements go, using a white, putting more pressure where more pigment where it's lighter, and just less pressure on the pencil where there's darker shades. Just trying to get a little bit of form in there by putting the browns in, yellow ochre and blues. So you're basically using the primary colours as your colours look, but instead of the red you're using a burnt sienna. So it's a similar way to mix the colours, but you're using a reddy brown instead of red. But eventually I'll go over with red, blue and yellow later on as the finishing touches, but just for the basic colour this is what I'm doing. Now I'm going over now with the Caran ash colours, rich colours, so if you want to freeze the image you'll be able to actually take a note of those colours. When I do hair, to get that shimmering look, you've actually got to see what's behind the colour. So you put a rich yellower colour or pinkier colour underneath what the colour is going to be eventually, if that makes sense. So what you're doing is actually thinking ahead, thinking, well, I need to put a richer colour in there so when I glaze over the top that will shine through and mix with the colour I'm going to put on top. So it's a case of being aware of how these things work. For the background colour I've used a purple. Now the reason for that is so that will bring out the actual yellower tones in the skin, because it's a complementary colour. So if you want a particular colour to stand out, use the complementary. So yellow would be purple. If I used a soft green in the background, that would bring out the red tones in the face. Now, you don't have to make every mark and every strand of hair the same as what the reference image is. Just drive you nuts. So the best thing to do really is just relax and just enjoy the rhythm and movement of it. So you have to feel how it flows and draw that rather than the details. If you find that you're getting value from this video, why not subscribe? It's absolutely free. Then you're sure not to miss my future videos. The paper I'm leaning on is called glassine paper. It's a special type of paper that really it's very difficult to smudge your work when leaning on it. So I really suggest buying some of that. If you just have a look in the description below, I'll leave a link. Now the best way to actually sharpen the pencil, which I've found, is to use a snap-off blade. Just get your thumb behind the blade and just push through the wood, and then once you've done the wood, just chamfer off the pastel part of it to a point. So it's easily done. Just try and find a sharp bit on your blade and just push through, and then just chamfer that pastel to a point, then you're good to go. I tend to just let go of the mind and just let things happen by opening the heart, so the more you can relax and the less stress you'll feel. Because trying to work out where all those strands go can be a little bit daunting. So if you let go of the mind, that's where the fear is, having memories and expectations, just let go of all that. Just enjoy the feel and flow of it, and you'll find that it just happens. The lines and the wisps of hair tend to just go in the right place. But the more you let go of the mind, the more you relax and open the heart, the more you'll find it will just happen for you. As you start pulling the hair in, you'll find that there's certain areas in the face that needs either lightening or darkening. So it's a case of just keep working on both. Don't get fixated anyway with the hair. Sometimes a little break from the hair by doing a little bit of flesh tone makes you feel refreshed as well. The thing I do is just to get the white and just get everything mapped out very lightly. It's hardly putting any pressure on that pencil at all. It's just like dragging across the surface just to get a feel for where those lines go. And then I'll go over top of that with heavier pastel later. Here you can see me glazing over the white now with a richer colour, so the white shines through then. And it's just a case of keep playing about, putting the white down, putting colour on top, putting white down, colour on top, until you get the desired results. Where the colour is really rich and shimmering, I use a rich Caran ash colour instead of the white. So it's finding a really nice rich colour in the set and then putting that down and glaze on top. What I'll do is I'll leave you a list of colours of the Caran ash, the actual numbers, so you can just buy single pencils rather than buying a set, so that might help. So be sure to check out the description below to find that information later. If you're enjoying this video, please give it a like and share it with your friends. It means a lot to me. It'll help with the channel, help it to grow. To help you relax while you're drawing as well, I suggest creating a sacred space for yourself, also a sacred time as well. So allow yourself an hour or 2 hours a night or whenever it can be, but you know, put your phone on mute, tell your friends that you know you're not be able to be contacted at that time, and have that time specially for you, for your creative time. And that will help you to draw, help you to be more patient, and it just feels great that you've just got that time to do what you want to do. I would really suggest, you know, having a go at doing that, and then it becomes more enjoyable. Then you know you're not trying to push it in a time slot where you've got other things going off, you know, you don't know whether you got time to do it, you just try and do it and you have to pack it up. So you know, if you just create that sacred time and space, I suggest doing that. It would help. An alternative to the glassine paper that you lean on, you can use a bob stick, which is really handy. It's what I use for oil paintings. So, you know, suggest trying that, see if that's better for you. When you put in hair into the background, I tend to get the background in first. You know, if it was a quite intricate background, I'd draw that in first and then go over then lightly with wisps of hair over it, so you've got breaks through, then the background's through it. But in this case it's just a plain purple background, which works pretty well really with the actual blonde hair, because yellowy colour is complementary to the actual purple. So it's quite easy, because if there's any mistakes it's easily rectified, because it's complementary, it merges into it, it don't look grubby or anything, it just looks quite natural. So it's pretty easy in this respect. But if it was an intricate background, get that in first and then go over with the hair. But in this case it's just a case of actually finding the correct flow again, getting the highlights correct, and just loose and feel quite spontaneous with it. Now, I was going to include in this video the Lacey top, but it would make it far too long, so what I've decided to do is create a separate video. That's the next one, part 4, so be sure to check that out when it comes out, and I'll go into great detail, step by step, real-time footage, so you can actually see how I do that. Right, here's the drawing at the correct angle, so it's not in perspective like it was on the easel, so you can take a better look at how it looks. Here's a glimpse of the finished portrait. As I mentioned earlier, the next tutorial video will be part 4 with the Lacey top, so be sure to check that out so you can see the completed work. Thank you for watching the video right through to the end. If you found value in it and you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. Appreciate it, would help the channel. Leave a comment and a message in the comments below. Let me know what sort of videos you want me to produce. I've actually left a couple of links here for you to click on, and to subscribe, click on the circle here. It's absolutely free, and then you're sure not to miss any of my future videos. Thank you so much, take care and be well.